I'm pleased to welcome you to the Peabody Conservatory's 139th graduation ceremony, which is part of the commencement exercises closing the Johns Hopkins University's 145th academic year. I want to offer my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of our graduates today. We've just ended an academic year unlike any other in recent times, except perhaps last year. I'm proud and appreciative of our students' ability and flexibility in making the most of your educational and artistic opportunities, despite the many challenges presented by the pandemic. After all the passion and work you've put into honing your art and finishing your degrees, it is disappointing that we're not able to be together in person to celebrate your achievements. At the same time, this virtual graduation serves to gather our community, families, and friends as best we can and to mark this milestone moment in a meaningful way. I also know that your families have shared in every challenge and every success that you've experienced throughout your time here at Peabody. You could not have achieved that which we celebrate today without their counsel and support. To the families of our graduates, we say thank you. I also want to recognize and thank our outstanding faculty for the critical and guiding role they've played in bringing you, our students, to this point today. Your unwavering commitment to the work we do and your creativity in finding exceptional new ways to teach, especially over the last 3 semesters, have enabled your students to continue to grow and thrive. We owe you a debt of gratitude. It's now my honor to introduce the Provost of the Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Sunil Kumar, who will offer a greeting on behalf of the university.
Thank you, Dean Bronstein. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us virtually to congratulate and celebrate the graduating class of 2021. I'm honored to be among the first to congratulate our outstanding graduates and would like to give them a hand for an exceptionally demanding and hopefully rewarding job well done. I'm particularly honored to congratulate them, given how difficult the past year has been. Today's graduates know as well as anyone that Peabody and Johns Hopkins require a great deal from their students. There have been times, no doubt, during the course of your studies when some of you thought too much was expected, but you persevered. You accomplished the difficult, and in some cases, the seemingly impossible. And that's as it should be. that's as it needs to be, with people as talented and determined as you. That said, no person accomplishes what we are celebrating today without the help, support, and love of others. Graduates, we are thankful for your dedication, and our hopes for you are boundless. But you owe at least a little bit of your success to someone else. Please think of someone or a group of people, whether it's a parent, a partner, a professor, the person who listened to you over a cup of coffee, whoever it is, and give them a round of applause. This is a special day, one you likely won't forget, even during these trying virtual times. I believe that such special days, marked by high ceremony, are days to celebrate achievement, set aspiration, and reaffirm responsibilities. I've already congratulated you for your perseverance through a challenging program. Let me also congratulate you for choosing a career in music. More importantly, let me thank you for doing so. I see you as indispensable to the world and to America. Today is a day for you to set your personal aspiration. In setting your aspiration, I encourage you to think of the long term and not just the returns to you, but of the returns to society. It won't be enough for you to do well. You must do good. To quote Daniel Coyd Gilman, the first president of Johns Hopkins at his inaugural address on February 22nd, 1876, the object of the university is to develop character. It misses its aim if it produced learned pedants, or simple artisans, or cunning sophists, or pretentious practitioners. Its purpose is not so much to impart knowledge to the pupils as whet the appetite, exhibit method, develop power, strengthen judgment, and invigorate the intellectual and moral forces. It should prepare for the service of society a class of students who will be wise, thoughtful, progressive guides in whatever department of work or thought they may be engaged. In his State of the Union address in 1963, John F. Kennedy said, "This country cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor." I believe the statement is true of the world at large today, and people like you are necessary if we are to rise from our current poverty of spirit and culture. To be Gilman's guides for society is your primary responsibility, but my list of responsibilities for you has not ended. In the eyes of the world, you are the Peabody Conservatory and the Johns Hopkins University. The average citizen is more likely to meet one of you than one of our faculty. So represent us well. I also remind you that you're part of the Johns Hopkins family now and forever, and there is much to be had by staying in touch. You never know how you might benefit from the relationship in the future, or how you might be able to contribute in a way that makes possible for someone else what you are commemorating today. I realize that I've asked a great deal of you without proffering much in return. Let me bestow upon you a secular benediction. In Sanskrit, Saraswati, the goddess of art and knowledge, is described as Varade Kamarupini, a granter of wishes who takes any desired form. May your art be amenable to your wishes and take the form that you wish it to, and may it grant you your every wish. What else is there now to say but congratulations? I wish you nothing but success in all your future endeavors. Make Peabody and Johns Hopkins proud. Thank you.
Hello, graduates, family, friends, and alumni. It is my great honor to welcome you, the graduates of 2021, as you take steps forward from the Peabody Conservatory of the Johns Hopkins University into your next ventures. This is not how I hope to address you today. But as your Alumni Association president, I know that not only has Peabody prepared you for the challenges you have faced in your final year and will now face in the world, but that the university will continue to provide you with support, leads, and companionship as you move forward. It is important to note that while most of this year took place remotely, you continued to rise above all the challenges and succeed. That commitment and perseverance has paid off. And you're not alone. The Johns Hopkins Alumni Association is made up of 240,000 alums from all the divisions of Hopkins. Our goal is to celebrate the diversity of our community, whether you are a Peabody alum in Baltimore, a SAIS grad in New York like me, or a Bloomberg alum in Nepal. Think of the JHU Alumni Association as a network of alumni that have shared personal or professional interests with you, whether they graduated from Peabody or one of the school's divisions. Now, more than ever, I would encourage you to stay connected in a virtual way for now, and in person when we can, through the Alumni Association's affinity and regional programs, and through Hopkins at Home. These are your online sources for lectures, mini courses, live events, and lifelong learning activities. I would also encourage you to engage with One Hop at Johns Hopkins. There you can connect with and get advice from other alums to forward your career. You are joining an accomplished global network of alumni who reside in places all over the world across 6 continents. And while these are unusual times, your fellow alumni are here for you, whether or not we are in the same room, the same town, or the same country. Reach out, and we will move forward together. As I offer my congratulations to all of you and wish you the very best, I hope this will be the first of many opportunities where our paths cross. And as you celebrate your achievements, remember, you will always be a Johns Hopkins graduate.
Class of 2021, just as we have contributed to your development as musicians, teachers, and scholars, so have you contributed richly to the quality of musical and intellectual life at Peabody. We appreciate your entrusting to us the development of your individual gifts during your time at Peabody, and we wish for you all a lifetime full of opportunities to now go out and share those gifts with others. More than anything else, we're about performance. So in keeping with tradition, and to spotlight all of your many accomplishments, we've invited 3 members of your graduating class to perform at this ceremony. We're honored to present these farewell performances in salute to and as representative of the class of 2021. And now, to introduce our first performer, I'd like to welcome Giovanna Iannantuoni, Director of the University of Milan, Bicocca in Milan, Italy.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Milano Bicocca. I am Giovanna Iannantuoni, Director of the University, and I'm really very happy to introduce Giorgio Consolati performance today for your day. I also send my best regards to your Dean, Fred Bronstein, and I hope my best for your future. And I really hope to see you very soon here in Milan. My best regards. Bye-bye. Arrivederci.
Congratulations, Peabody Class of 2021. I am Aber Bush, the Senior Associate Dean of Institute Studies. It is my deepest honor to present the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Excellence in Teaching Award this year to Sharon Levy. Dr. Levy, in your more than 20 years on the Peabody Conservatory faculty, you have time and again demonstrated your dedication both to your students and to the music we all love with your engaging and inclusive teaching style and impeccable command of the subject matter. Your work to help others explore the intersection between performance and analysis has been nothing short of revelatory for students, leaving them with a deeper understanding and a profound reverence for the music. Your keyboard literature and graduate music theory classes are known to enhance students' love of music by collaboratively examining its inner workings. Your warm manner invites students into class discussion no matter their starting point, and your mastery of both the musicological and theoretical aspects of the material, combined with your infectious appreciation for the music, sparks new insights and fresh approaches in their study and performance of the works. Your feedback on papers and assignments is known to be thorough and detailed, and in particular, your class on fugues is praised, in the words of one student, as, quote, one of the highlights of my academic coursework, end quote, anywhere. You were appointed to the Peabody faculty shortly after earning your DMA in piano performance right here, having studied with Joachim Kaplinski, and you frequently enrich class discussions with fluid demonstrations from the keyboard. You also hold a PhD in the history and theory of music from the University of Chicago and teach piano literature at the Juilliard School. You are fully committed to the intellectual growth of all your students and have become a much sought-after advisor for DMA pianists. Students and colleagues alike note that you have gone above and beyond in contributing to the academic life of Peabody and Johns Hopkins, applying your formidable administrative skills to the work of the doctoral committee and teaching classes at the Homewood campus and in Peabody's Humanities and Liberal Arts Department. You are a meticulous planner, always thoughtfully prepared for class, committee meetings, or audition interviews ahead of you, and can be counted on to follow through afterward with additional ideas, discussion, and context. A role model for other teachers and consistently committed to improving student work, you connect on an individual level and have repeatedly shown yourself to be not just brilliant, but also kind, open, completely genuine, and always willing to help. Your many marked contributions to Peabody and to Johns Hopkins seem to pale in comparison to the immeasurable impact you have had as an inspiration in the lives of those you have touched here. Dr. Sharon Levy, in recognition of your many gifts and accomplishments, and with our profound gratitude for all that you are and the good that you do, it is our honor to present to you the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association's Excellence in Teaching Award for 2021. It is now my great honor to present to you Dr. Sharon Levy.
First, I have to say that everyone teaching and learning this past year deserves an award. Thank you to the committee and everyone who made this happen. I am beyond grateful. This was such a surprise that when I learned that Dean Bronstein wanted to speak with me, my initial reaction was panic. I was on Zoom with a colleague and his deadpan response was, "Can I have your office?" More seriously, there's a Hebrew saying, "Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar ma'od," all the world's a narrow bridge, but art is a bridge as well. Of course, there's the bridge between people, performers, creators, and audience. And there's the unique connection between teachers and students. Teachers don't just learn from our students, we're incredibly moved and inspired by them. I recently gave a listening exam, and as I looked at my students' faces in those Zoom windows, I was struck by how many were swaying to the music, even in 45-second electronically transposed segments. You compel me to keep striving, and even as my family is likely tired of my struggles, I know that you and the art we serve deserve no less. But there are also internal bridges that music and dance nurture between brain, body, and heart. The world needs these. When we're in the classroom, we don't turn off ears or instincts. We try to uncover where they lead us and why. And our physical work in the studio is empty without mind and imagination as guide. To quote a student on Mozart's sonata performance, you should conduct it in your heart. One of the classes I taught in my job interview was on the Neapolitan. Simple, right? But the power of that modal mixture to uplift, and its parallel with so much of what we feel in the world, joy and beauty in the midst of challenge, transcend its flat 2 label. It's also a metaphor, another bridge to meaning. Musical language is full of these, like high or low pitches, warm sounds, or harmonic color. When I was little, I wrote a story narrating the first prelude of Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier. Well, I wouldn't do that now. I might sense sacredness in a plagal gesture, or see in repeats, not just convention, but reflections of life's own repeating patterns, against which we more deeply feel change. Yet art itself is also enough. To quote a Chinese proverb, a bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. When I was a kid, I didn't plan to be a teacher. It kind of snuck up on me. But when I first came to Peabody for my doctoral audition, I sat in the courtyard and had the nerve to think, you know, this would be a pretty great place to work. And I gotta say, it truly has been. Thank you all so much, and congratulations to our extraordinary graduates.
Because my mouth is wide with laughter, and my throat is deep with song, you do not think I suffer after I have held my pain so long. Because my mouth is wide with laughter, you do not hear my inner cry. Because my feet are gay with dancing, you do not know I die. You do not know I die. To fling my arms wide in some place in the sun, to whirl and to dance till the white day is done. In rest at cool evening beneath a tall tree, one night comes on gently, dark like me. That is my dream. To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance whirl, Africa. I am the dark sister. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed.
Now, I'm truly delighted to introduce the incomparable Renée Fleming, our guest speaker for this 139th Peabody Conservatory graduation and recipient of the George Peabody Medal, the highest honor bestowed by the Peabody Institute. I'll now read from the citation. Renée Fleming, as one of the most beloved and celebrated singers of our time, you are universally acclaimed not just for your consummate artistry, but also for the leadership positions you have taken as an advocate for the arts in our world. Heralded as having possibly the most beautiful soprano voice in the world, you have enraptured audiences in venues ranging from the world's leading opera houses and concert halls to Broadway theaters to the Super Bowl. At the same time, you've used your voice to help build awareness and support around the healing power of the arts in people and communities. Awarded America's highest honor for an individual artist, the National Medal of Arts, as well as 4 Grammy Awards, you've been sought after on distinguished occasions from the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony to the Olympic Games. You made history when you sang from Buckingham Palace in the Diamond Jubilee concert for Queen Elizabeth II, and when you became the first woman to solo headline an opening gala night at the Metropolitan Opera. You've sung more than 50 operatic roles in 6 languages and left your imprint on Dvorak's Rusalka, Richard Strauss's Marschallin, Mozart's Countess Almaviva, and Verdi's Desdemona. As a longtime champion of new music, Andre Previn's Penelope and Kevin Putt's The Brightness of Light are among the most recent works you've premiered. A prolific recording artist of extraordinary artistic range, your album, Signatures, was selected by the U.S. Library of Congress for the National Recording Registry as an oral history worthy of preservation as part of America's patrimony. Your autobiographical book, The Inner Voice, The Making of a Singer, is now in its 16th printing and is considered a must-read for aspiring young singers and fans alike. As artistic advisor for the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, you are spearheading its collaboration with the National Institutes of Health, Sound Health. Your Music and the Mind presentation explores the power of music as it relates to health and the brain. In addition, you serve as a lead advisor on the NeuroArts Blueprint, a partnership project of Johns Hopkins Medicine and the Aspen Institute. Your other leadership roles have included with the Lyric Opera of Chicago, Carnegie Hall, Sing for Hope, the Polyphony Foundation, and in developing the new Aspen Opera Theater and vocal arts programs at the Aspen Music Festival and School. Renée Fleming, with your singularly illustrious and multifaceted career, you have redefined what it means to be an operatic superstar. You are both the all-American diva and the undiva, relatable and unreachable, a boundary-breaking ambassador for music in our time. In recognition of all you have achieved, and in anticipation of all you have yet to do, I am proud to bestow on you today the highest honor conferred by the Peabody Institute of the Johns Hopkins University, the George Peabody Medal for outstanding contributions to music in America.
Thank you, Dean Bronstein. I'm profoundly grateful to accept the George Peabody Medal, to be included among the recipients of this award, a list which includes personal musical heroes of mine, mentors, beloved composers, and leaders who've created and shaped the world of music in America. This is an unforgettable honor. And it's especially rewarding to be recognized by the Peabody Institute of Johns Hopkins University, where so much exciting work is happening at this very instant. Thank you also for the invitation to address the 2021 graduating class of the Peabody Conservatory. This is not the first time I've spoken for a commencement ceremony, but I know you will all agree that this is a year unlike any other. So first, let's just acknowledge that you all deserve a special award for achieving this milestone in such challenging circumstances. Whether you had coachings via Zoom, played chamber music while socially distanced, or wore masks while dancing, you have triumphed, and each of you has earned some kind of pandemic cum laude. There are standard sentiments that apply as any graduating class pauses for recognition of their achievement and looks at the road ahead. But at this unique moment in history, everything carries a special urgency. This is not just a new chapter. You are truly at the beginning of a new era. The extraordinary circumstances of your graduation goes beyond the disruptions of the pandemic. Our country is undergoing a paradigm shift brought on by powerful forces that have converged in the space of just a few years. Our extreme political divisions, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, the intensifying effects of climate change, and now a global health crisis have transformed the way we look at art and each other. The good news is that we have new ways to access the arts, a better understanding of the power of music and dance in our lives, and finally, long overdue advances in racial, gender, and social equity. It's a whole new ballgame, and it's yours to make of it what you will. When I started out, no one was interested in my opinions about art. It was my responsibility to faithfully reproduce the composer's wishes, following directors and conductors with as much skill as I possessed. And now each of you has the opportunity to be a leader. And let's talk about the radically altered media landscape you're entering. Whether you're a performer, a composer, a producer, or a teacher, the way you interact with your audience looks nothing like it did even 5 years ago. As a singer, I connected to a wide audience through recordings and television. For the first part of my career, recordings were bought, usually as CDs. Most professors can tell you what those were. The content was curated by the artist and the record company. But fast forward to 2020, now instead of buying music, people rent it. Subscription streaming now accounts for almost 60% of the industry. Digital radio is growing as well. So people don't really buy albums anymore. And sadly, the creators and performers of the music are not properly compensated from streaming. But in spite of that problem, this is an absolute explosion of access. Listeners can now hear pretty much any recorded music that exists whenever they want. The internet has become a vast resource, and I'm sure that, like me, you turn to it constantly to research music and dance. Both artists and audiences can now follow their musical tastes anywhere they lead. So our art is reaching people in a new way. At the same time, artists like my friend composer Maria Schneider, Chance the Rapper, and the Spanish Harlem Orchestra have turned away from the streaming services to offer their work directly to their fans via platforms like ArtistShare, Bandcamp, and Ditto. This is part of the good news I mentioned before. Both the industry and audiences are now embracing your individuality and looking to you for leadership. And this can extend way beyond your art to your persona, if you wish. The public wants to know who we are and what we stand for. Unless, of course, they disagree, in which case it helps to keep an eye on your comment thread. But if they're commenting, at least they have heard you. In short, there's no gatekeeper any longer. You have the ability to speak directly to your audiences, and they will tell you what matters to them. The artists who came before you have never had this amazing platform. You can use this power to shape the future of music and dance, keeping them thriving and relevant. You can champion who or what inspires you and draw attention to ideas in your work that you find meaningful. Last May, my friend Lawrence Brownlee launched a Facebook Live series, The Sit Down with LB, exploring the experience of being a Black opera singer today. Mezzo-soprano Jamie Barton has a vibrant social media presence on Instagram and Twitter, sparking dialogue about body positivity, social justice, and LGBTQ rights. And I launched Music in Mind Live, a web series examining the amazing discoveries happening at the intersection of music, health, and neuroscience. What I've learned, and I hope you will believe, is that the music industry, the performing arts world, and audiences everywhere are eager for voices, people with something to say who can rise above the noise. You can be those leaders. As live performances get underway again, be still my heart. Your digital presence will have a new importance in bringing the public to where you are. This is crucial, especially as audiences are embracing our work in new unconventional venues, while large traditional arts institutions face daunting economic hurdles. Those challenges have been building for years and have been aggravated by the financial shock of the pandemic. You will find that the traditional paths to a career still exist. Young artist programs, competitions, and internships will still be important stepping stones for many of you, but the world you're entering is being strengthened by inclusivity and community engagement. When I started out, the people with power were men, usually British, conductors, managers, directors, and impresarios. Inclusivity and diversity were really just words. We still have a long way to go, but now there is awareness and the will to change. And this is an exciting time. Our orchestras, opera, and dance companies, performing arts centers, and yes, conservatories are showing us that the arts thrive when they represent our entire society, both on stage and behind the scenes. In this new world, I know you will also find a need for your skills and artistry beyond the stage. Those of you who have studied music education are already on this path. And as someone who trained for that and the child of 2 music teachers, I applaud you. Some of you may find that you can practice your art while helping others through arts therapy and the integration of the arts in healthcare settings. You could have no better pedigree than the Peabody Institute for this path. With the development of the NeuroArts Blueprint, led by Susan Meg Salmon of Johns Hopkins and Ruth Katz of the Aspen Institute, your university is at the cutting edge of this work. I'm a co-chair of this initiative, and it has truly become my passion. Your Associate Dean, Sarah Adams Hoover, has just this month published Music as Care, Artistry in the Hospital Environment. And like the singers I mentioned before, some of you may use your talents in the service of social justice as artist activists. I hope you will also be empowered to reject the notion of money as the definition of success and follow wherever your art leads you. Among the things that the past 14 months have taught us, one truth stands out to me, something that I hope will energize and inspire each of you. That is the central importance of the arts to our lives. The pandemic reminded us that we need the shared experience of music and dance. And when we can't gather in person, we will adapt and find other ways of sharing creative expression. That urge propelled people to their rooftops and balconies to connect with each other. Put very simply, to quote Hairspray, a musical set in Baltimore, you can't stop the beat. A survey last year in Europe asking people to rate sources of emotional comfort during the lockdown found music at the top of the list. Faced with isolation, we saw artists around the world leverage technology to bring music and dance into the virtual space. And you were part of that with Art Reach and living room laptop performances. You have acquired new skills and weathered new challenges in this unprecedented time. You will need that flexibility and strength on top of the superb education of the Peabody Conservatory to shape a world that is completely new, holistic, and all your own. Young people, especially in the last year, have been empowered in the election and Black Lives Matter, in addressing climate change, and in seeking gender equity. I charge each and every one of you to become artist activists. Art is the most powerful conduit for feelings and ideas, and we need to hear all of yours for change and for good. Thank you.
In the same way that we're hearing from our students through their performances today, so are we pleased to hear from them through their words. Our speaker for this year's graduation ceremony is Stephen Chen, a cello performance major in the class of 2021. At Peabody, Stephen served as president of the Peabody Pride organization and was creator-producer of a virtual concert series for the cello studio of Alan Stepansky. He received a launch grant to start a small business called Arco Bow Grip, utilizing both his musical training and his undergraduate background in business administration and data analytics. I'm pleased to introduce Stephen Chen to share his thoughts today.
Thank you, Dean Bronstein and the Peabody Institute for including me on this very special day of celebration. And congratulations to the Peabody Institute class of 2021. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is that we're not in the same room right now. Normally, this is a day we get to shake hands with our professors, take photos with our friends, and pop open a bottle of champagne. But I hope you get to do that at home. This year has not been a normal one. And if I got $1 for every time someone says, unprecedented, I could probably afford my tuition here. For me, the word unprecedented has almost been tarnished with the amount of usage this year. And I was surprised to find that the meaning of this word doesn't mean scary or terrifying or running out of toilet paper, but that it means never done or known before, unparalleled, unrivaled, extraordinary, and remarkable. Each and every single word of what I use to describe our graduating class. German philosopher Erich Fromm writes, "Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties." This past year was anything but certain, but that did not deter us from sharing our art. We were resilient and brave in the face of uncertainties. We came up with new and creative ways to host virtual performances, learn how to use Soundtrap, and even produce multiple virtual operas. Now, as we are approaching the light at the end of this tunnel, both in our academic career and in these unprecedented times, we have to ask ourselves, what comes next? This is certainly a new chapter in our lives and in the history of the world. How are we going to make an impact or change for the betterment of society? With the level of uncertainty we currently face, we also hold a new level of possibilities and freedom. As a recently out gay man, embracing that level of freedom is somewhat terrifying, but exhilarating. Ted Chiang diagnosed anxiety as the dizziness of freedom. In my personal experience, coming out felt like diving into the ocean after being stuck in a small pool all my life. Not being able to feel the bottom of the pool is scary, but then I realized I've trained how to stay afloat my entire life, and it was finally time to let go. And as Dory says, just keep swimming. Peabody class of 2021. We are at the precipice of something completely new and beautiful. It can be a little daunting to embark on this journey because we're left to write this new chapter by our own decisions and our own free will. So let me share 3 pieces of wisdom that I learned at the Peabody Institute. 1, don't force someone to change. Inspire them with your sound. This lesson I learned in a chamber coaching with Professor Lambros. We often resort to force as a tool of persuasion to make change. But the most powerful tool is leading by example. Be the change you want to see. Inspire others with your sound, whether playing in a quartet or making a difference in the world. Number 2, the middle of the note matters. We always hear, articulate the beginning of the note and make sure you cut off together. But the magic in color happens in the middle of the note. Likewise, don't focus too much on your past or worry too much about the future to enjoy the present. And lastly, take risks. Music is not meant to be perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect performance. And if we try to do everything perfectly, we take the joy out of making music. Beethoven says, to play a wrong note is insignificant. To play without passion is inexcusable. So please take risks. It's okay if we don't hit that note, but don't let that stop you from giving the most beautiful performance. Your audience is going to remember your performance as a whole, not by just one missed note. Friends, our time here has come and gone in the blink of an eye. I know I'm not the first, and I will not be the last to remind you. Graduating is an amazing accomplishment. And graduating amidst a global pandemic, now that is groundbreaking. You should all be extremely proud of yourselves. I know I am. And as we continue on our own journeys, please remember that it's okay to be uncertain about the future. The best part of life, or even music, they aren't planned. It's those little spontaneous moments that we treasure forever. And if the past year has taught us anything, it's that life is as short as people make it out to be. There is no such thing as too much time, and I hope you cherish every minute, all the lows, all the highs. Blaze your own path, write your own story, because the true meaning of life is just to live it. I am so excited to witness all the great things you will accomplish in the future. Be safe, be well, be brave, and let go of certainty. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you today. And once again, congratulations, Peabody Class of 2021.
I'm Townsend Plant, Associate Dean for Enrollment and Student Life, and it is my honor to present the graduates of the class of 2021. Bachelor of Music.
Jeremy Ernest. Stephen Wyrick. Yongdai Yan. Alexander Hagopian. Samuel Hoke. Yichan Liu. Pedro Rivera. Xiaogong Shang. Benjamin Hamilton. Sophia Kelsall. Ian Lyons. Hannah Silverberg. Hannah Tassler. Jennifer Kim. Ruben Portillo Franco. Lily Homa. John Charles Reynolds. Ellen Gruber. Sophia Lowe. Colin Crandall. Benjamin Juro. Sejong Hyo. Jada Campbell. Yamin Chen. Botao Fan. Kelly Her. Qianyun Liu. Hao Shu. Lauren Yoon. Scott Lee. Joseph Ethan Miller. Taya Renee Modalesi. Cole Mano. Robert Lucas Brown. Hannah Zhang. Yanni Chen. Claire Habeisen. Christopher Allen Jazowicz. Zilly Shah. Chi-Chun Wang. Yuting Chang. Justin Chong. Esther Gloria Cook. Jorge Jimenez. Mafalda Santos. Emma Hills. Claire Marguerite Iverson. Hyunju Kong. Shaul Laquette Moore. Alexis Modica. Kevin Peyton Cole. Davine Ream. Emma Jane Rushlow. Morgan Sandra Sanchez. Zoe Woodeman. Alexandria Zallo.
Graduate Performance Diploma.
Heishuan Lynne. Peter Amo Arfston. Ryan Frederick Norville. Jacob Gutierrez. Benjamin Mapes. Robert Alexander Rocheteau. Gaun Ban. Shisun Lin. Hao Lu. Xiao Ouyang. Randy Ryan. Chelsea Wang. Zeishang Wan. Huxiang Xiao. Yangwei Xu. Royu Yang. Andrew Gu. Hee-Jae Zhang. Megan Grace Wei. Carl Friedrich Hingen.
Master of Arts.
Andrew Bowman. Hyunju Jo. Michael Kapanis. Christian Parker. Eric Jeffrey Weinroth.
Master of Music.
Forrest Tyler Ransberg. Leva Bluma. Daniel Price Collins. Christopher John Michael Enlow. David Carl Fisher. Arundum Jurikon. Victor Labozeta. Jie Lee. Yunjung Lee. Aaron Mencher. Jake O'Connor. Peter Haychek Roby. Benjamin Salmon. Yong Wong. Jacob Wilkinson. Nan Yi. Nishan Jiang. Hanxing Wang. Bei Yan. Xinyi Yu. Daniel Rodriguez Lima. Harrison Greeno. Patrick Raynard. Wenwen Yang. Stephanie Baird. Sojourner McClure, Jesse Washburn, Infinity Jazz Wilner, Anita Marie Rodriguez, Jordan Samuel Shropshire, Jermaine Fryer, Yoon Gong, Wan Ma, Ariel Miller, Shi Pong, Natalie Pretzello, Jameson Foster, Octavio Macias, Ana Uribe Law, Midori Ataka, Yukiko Nakamura, Hyunji Beck, Junji Chen,
Xue Yun Dun,
Jeremy Thomas Hassel, Jianjing Hu, Myungnon Jung, Jian Kim, Suji Kim, Phyllis Pan, Guhan Pang, Nayun Xing, Hanshu Zhu, Xinhui Zhang, Valentina Hishan Huang, Minji Kim, Nicholas Fitton, Nikolai Klotchkov, Caleb Henry, Xiaoshuan Liang, Patrick Nicholas Marsh, Flavia Irina Pajaro Vandestad, Vivian Park, Jacqueline Marie Scavetta, Xiaoyu Chang, Chang Xia Chu, Yeji Kim, Jinsol Lee, Fang Ming Shen, Yushu Tang, Michael Wu, Shaiman Yu, Stephen Chen, Aiden Russell, Alvaro Vasquez Osa, Natalia Vilichis, Minji Cho, Jacqueline Desching, Dana Leanne Douglas, Lauren Bailey Galindo, Christopher John Hartung, Nathan Hawsey, Sayun Zhou, Zoe Christine Jones, Mofan Lai, Sojung Lim, Min Liu. Carly Ritlin. Eric Lucas Schmidt. Eugen Tsai. Megan Elizabeth Zuhowski. Ava Borowski. Emma Louise Coffey. Cassidy Sarah Dixon. JC Najaline Maya Lugo. Michael Paul Manganiello. Anise Murillo. Obi Okachukwu. Sebastian Rodriguez Alameda.
Artist Diploma.
Giorgio Consolati.
As we begin conferring the Conservatory's doctoral degrees, we would like to acknowledge that if we were all together, we would be hooding each of these students with the traditional pink hood. The academic hood symbolizes a degree beyond the baccalaureate, most notably the doctorate. By custom, the hood is not to be worn until the degree is conferred, which is why commencement exercises include a hooding ceremony. Once hooded, a scholar may wear the hood in future academic exercises to symbolize both the degree and the school that made the award. We also recognize the achievements of our doctoral students by including their research areas on each slide. Doctor of Musical Arts.
Christopher Michael Champoli. Jonathan Hugendubler. Alexandra Elizabeth Rinn. Andrew Marino. Mark William DeMol. Janny Berdetti. Hyung-Won Beck. Adam Neil Waller.
Let me begin by again congratulating our graduates today on all your many accomplishments over the course of your years here at Peabody. You've worked hard, overcome obstacles, and called on internal resources you never knew you had in order to get to this point. And now you're at the beginning of a great adventure, one that will have its peaks and valleys, but you have learned to be resilient, especially over the last year, and always to return to the purpose that has driven you to be an artist from the beginning. I also invite you to take a moment to think about and thank all the people in your lives that have helped you arrive at this point today. None of us do it all by ourselves. Parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, teachers, mentors, and others were there to help you find your way, perhaps when you had your doubts. So please do thank all of the folks that have made a difference in your life. Now, I must say that if you had told me at graduation last year we'd be doing another virtual graduation a year hence, I probably would not have believed it. But here we are. As improbable and unwelcome as it might have seemed, the last year has introduced us to a whole new way of life. And we've learned a lot through this pandemic. We've learned how to more effectively leverage technology, expanded our view of the performance experience, and surely become even more appreciative of what it means to be able to gather and participate in a communal experience, whether it's a music or dance performance, a play, or a walk through a museum. Precious experiences all. I'm enormously mindful of how difficult the last year has been for so many, and we've had to make our share of hard decisions as well. And yet, thanks to the wonderful faculty, staff, and students who have shown such flexibility, adaptability, creativity, and good spirit over this last year, Peabody has continued to thrive. I'm grateful to you all. Now, I can't help but think about what you all are graduating into at this remarkable time. The performing arts has never been an easy career path, And now so many new challenges face our field. To help answer some truly profound questions and lead an industry-wide conversation around these challenges, in February, Peabody convened and hosted The Next Normal, Arts, Innovation, and Resilience in a Post-COVID World, a national symposium that included discussions with thought leaders from the artistic, administrative, and funding communities across the classical music world. We had more than 1,300 participants from all walks of the professional performing arts in attendance, including current and potential future employers of Peabody graduates. And what was immediately apparent to me was the hunger for and exuberance at being together virtually to talk about how the performing arts can emerge from the pandemic. And perhaps most important, how we leverage the experience to make fundamental change for the classical music world and more broadly the performing arts as we grapple with long-term trends that challenge our field. While in truth we could barely scratch the surface in just one day, certain themes emerged. First, we all recognize that the short-term road to recovery for the performing arts will be uneven and likely not a straight line upward. Our industry was battered by the economic impact of the pandemic, as were others, but the performing arts especially so. And given some of the challenges performing arts institutions already were facing, attracting new audiences, rising costs, under-resourced institutions, conflict over contracts, and changing demographics, one can only imagine the challenges of surviving a life-changing event whereby all performances were, for the most part, canceled for more than a year. At the same time, there's a determination, passion, and resilience in artistic institutions and artists that ultimately bodes well for recovery. But in truth, the more interesting and I think important questions may be around the long-term needs of our industry and field and how we can leverage the opportunities that come out of the adversity we've all faced. One of these themes is the urgent need for our field to diversify our institutions, including our administrations, performing rosters, board members, audiences, and more. For a long time, our field has paid lip service to the importance of diversity and approached this issue as peripheral. What has more recently emerged is the sure knowledge that we must elevate diversity to a position commensurate with excellence, and in fact, understand that diversity and excellence are inextricably linked, even challenging the limitations of how we historically have defined excellence. When one considers the historically uncomfortable relationship that our field has had with diversity, and then considers the rising urgency around anti-racism and social justice driven by the unconscionable and too often sanctioned violence against people of color, and the impact of the recent guilty verdict for George Floyd's murder, a long-awaited and possible historical tipping point, coupled with the accelerating change in demographics in our country, it would be reckless and indeed, I would argue, professional malpractice for our field to see the issues of anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion as anything but central to our future. The other theme is the need to build performing arts institutions that are more flexible and adaptable structurally and programmatically, responsive to communities, open to evolving ways of making art that is relevant to people's lives and needs, and embraced by an increasingly diverse audience. Along with this, and this is key, we must train creative artists with the kind of orientation that rewards and values the journey to who is being reached and how, as much as what is produced by the artist. And we all must approach our work, our institutions, and the people we impact and those we would like to engage with a sense of humility. Let's be honest. Performing arts institutions, despite being places of robust creativity, have been largely unwilling or unable to maneuver to adjust to the market or to build organizations that are flexible and nimble. We've often built structures that were unprepared to adapt and change, even when threatened by increased competition, unsustainable financial models, unresponsive administrators, undercapitalized institutions, and changing audiences. And that has in turn led to artists that lack flexibility and adaptability and who have not been adequately equipped for this brave new world. I think the future depends on all this changing. I think all of us who are part of this field are challenged to be bolder, take more risks, and accept and learn from the mistakes that come with risk, while not losing sight of why we fell in love with what we do in the first place. I'm proud that Peabody is in part leading this important conversation. I'm buoyed by seeing that the kinds of things that are so important to the future of the field, diversity, flexibility, and adaptability, right alongside the pride we all have in our artistic outcomes, are the very things that we've been working on in a strategic and intentional way at Peabody in recent years. It's why we put the breakthrough curriculum in place. It's why we've had a laser-like focus on diversifying our faculty and student population. And it's why we've invested in important early life programs and partnerships to create equitable access to our field. We are now more determined than ever to continue on that path. So as you, our graduates today, consider your role in the brave new world, I invite and urge you to think about how you relate to these priorities that are crying out for energetic, creative, authentic, and thoughtful solutions. I know you'll bring your passion and artistic commitment and many beautiful performances to the world. Now I challenge you to think hard about what your role will be in creating a more diverse and equitable performing arts field. How will you be part of changing and advancing the artistic institutions with whom you are affiliated? How will you be more flexible, adaptable, and nimble, and settle for nothing less from your institutions, just as many of you already have helped push Peabody forward in its institutional thinking and approach? While it may be hard to imagine, you may be surprised to find that this is where you, in fact, find the most joy and make the greatest contribution. Peabody is proud of you today. I am proud of you today. And I know that as you go out and find your way in life and career, you'll do wonderful things, and you'll do them with the same grit and determination that has brought you to this point today. I congratulate you, and I'm especially proud that today and going forward, you call yourselves Peabody Alumni.
Congratulations, Peabody Class of 2021. In this most unusual year, you've demonstrated extraordinary flexibility, creativity, and resilience.
But more importantly, you're going to have the best stories to tell your grandkids.
Get out there and be the fantastic artist citizens that you are.
You did it!
I wish you all the best.
We did it. You did it. We're so proud of you.
Now go out there and make beautiful, necessary, relevant, powerful art.
And we look forward to hearing the amazing contributions you're going to make in your next chapter. Bravo.
Go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
We are so proud of how you got through this crazy year. Take that dedication to music out with you into the world.
We're excited to see what comes next for you.
So very proud of each and every one of you. Well done.
The Voice and Opera program faculty are so proud of you, and we wish you all the best.
You've made it this far. The future is yours, and you are now unstoppable.
Congratulations, you amazing Peabody Class of 2021.
I hope that you will take all the tools that we have given you and share it with the world and continue the Peabody vibe, musical vibe, all around the world. Congratulations. Take care.
You did a fantastic job, and you did such a wonderful job under very difficult circumstances.
What a year this has been. It's one that no one will ever forget. You can bank on that.
We're all so proud of you. Thank you all for your hard work this year, and all my very best wishes for the future.
Congratulations, Peabody Class of 2021. We wish you luck in this wonderful pursuit of ours.
Congratulations, Class of 2021. We're proud of you.
I want to wish you all an incredibly fulfilling, happy, and inspiring life in music and the arts.
I've enjoyed getting to know you and getting to work with you and getting to just experience your amazing musicianship so much over these past couple of years, and I wish you all the best.
We are so proud of you. You are resilient and inspirational.
Your commitment, your fortitude, and your passion were a real inspiration to us, and it has been an honor and a joy working with you.
Congratulations, Peabody Class of 2021.